Here's a short overview of the Florida sales tax main return screen. This is the main page for the Florida sales and use tax return. In the top left corner, you can navigate to the location screen or use the menu combination of Setup Company to get to the location screen. Below line E, you can change periods using the arrow buttons or under the period menu. The EFT, which is the electronic funds transfer due date, is listed in red and must be transmitted by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 4 p.m. Central Standard Time in order to be considered timely. Now, you might try to click on the Donate Collection Allowance checkbox, but it doesn't do anything. That's because some things don't work until there's data to work with. Drop in $100 in the tax collected column of line A. Now the estimated tax lines, if applicable, and the Donate Collection Allowance checkbox are dropped in correctly. If you don't see an estimated tax paid amount, it may be because you haven't entered last month's estimated tax due amount. You can override this by clicking the button next to line 6, checking the checkbox by the estimated tax paid amount, and entering it manually. The simplest return you can do is a zero return. If your business has no sales this period, just click the No Sales this period checkbox below line 14 and you should be ready to e-file. The Florida DOR expects a return even if there are no sales, and this checkbox makes your sales and liability clear to the DOR. Florida, unlike some other states, requires that all money collected as tax be remitted to the state. The state then remits surtaxes to the counties. The collection allowance, maxing out at $30, is given with each return to compensate the company for collecting and remitting all the tax collected. Collection allowances are only given to the e-filers when the return is submitted in a timely fashion. If you must pay sales tax on collections made from vending machines, pay attention to line E and use the dialog to calculate gross taxable sales from the total collections. Sales from amusement machines must be entered on line 19, and the line 19 totals must be added to any existing amounts on line A. Any use tax is entered on line B, taxable purchases. If the return is late, enter the date the return is filed. The collection allowance is zeroed out and a penalty and interest is calculated automatically. If you would rather have the state bill you, override the penalty and interest to zero. The collection allowance cannot be overridden. A surtax worksheet is available to help you readily fill out lines 15A through 15D, or you can just enter them manually. Citrus County is the only county of 67 counties in Florida that does not have a surtax. Lines 15A, 15B, and 15C are all taxable sales amounts, but line 15D is the amount of surtax that you collected and will be divided between one or more counties. Line 15A describes sales of high-priced items over $5,000, of which only the first $5,000 is taxable, and the rest is exempt from any surtax. Line 15B describes sales of items that have no surtax, such as taxable sales in Citrus County. Line 15C describes all taxable sales that have a rate other than 0% or your own county rate. In addition to the Florida sales tax return, SAXTAX also allows you to print the solid waste and surcharge return, the prepaid wireless E911 return, and to specify certain reports when printing. Once the return is finished, under the e-file menu, you can prepare to transmit the return to the DOR. This will create the e-file that you must then transmit to the state. The e-file is put into a list, and the list of returns can be accessed under the same e-file menu under Review Transmissions. From the list, you can transmit this return or a series of returns all at the same time. Once the returns have been sent to the state will acknowledge the returns by sending an ACK, or an acknowledgement. The state only sends ACKs once a day, usually between 5 and 6 p.m., so make sure to plan accordingly.